Swedish prosecutors have dropped a sexual assault probe against Julian Assange from WikiLeaks when the case reached its expiration date without investigators successfully questioning Julian Assange. Now, this doesn't mean that he is now free to travel about. Two of the four allegations against Julian Assange, who has been, as you may know, in the Ecuadorian embassy in London since 2012 to avoid extradition, two of the four allegations have reached their statute of limitations after 5 years. These are one count of sexual assault and one count of unlawful coercion. There's a separate allegation of sexual molestation, which is going to run out on August 18th. But even at that point, it is not going to be it for Julian Assange because he is still under investigation for the more serious claim of rape, which carries a 10-year statute of limitations. That one would not expire until 2020, when Julian Assange would be almost 50 years old. You know, Lewis, about the controversy surrounding these allegations. There are, of course, the supporters of Assange and Assange himself who completely deny the allegations. They say that these were consensual sexual encounters. They point to the fact that the alleged victims are not particularly keen on participating or collaborating with the investigation. And there's this sort of undertone that these are really political charges as a sort of a punishment in a way for Julian Assange's activism with regard to WikiLeaks. There are others who say, no, this is a guy who has done great things if you believe that he has done great things with regard to WikiLeaks, but these are legit charges, and to hide away in the Ecuadorian embassy is a way to really skirt justice, and he should just face the accusers and talk to the police. How are you feeling about this at this point?
I think I've said before, I'd like to think that Sweden is not pulling this type of stuff where these are false charges or I'd like to think there's nothing sinister happening here. I really don't know. I mean, how can we say with certitude that these are legitimate or not?
It's really for a court to decide. And if Julian Assange is able to wait this out until 2020, the statute of limitations will have expired on all of these charges, and ultimately a court will never have to decide. But Julian Assange would presumably be not at risk of extradition to Sweden.
Yeah, it's can you imagine having to live in an embassy like this for so long? It's got to be driving him crazy.
At some point, if you were Julian Assange, would you just not be able to tolerate living your entire life in the Ecuadorian embassy, and would you just say, you know what, I'm going to face the charges and I'm going to fight them?
I really don't know. Very hard for me to put myself in that position and consider that. But I guess I'd like to see him do that just so we can figure out if this is all true or not.
There's this other angle also, which is about the debate around statutes of limitations. Some saying, why would we put a statute of limitations? It allows people to quite literally just wait out charges that may well be legitimate. The counter argument to that is, no, you need statutes of limitations so that you encourage the prosecution to have to take timely action on matters. They need to get these cases going if they want to prosecute them. And there are, of course, many other arguments for and against statutes of limitations. That would be an interesting conversation, actually, to bring on a couple of attorneys, one who's in favor and one who's against, and to have that conversation. For now, Julian Assange has to remain in the embassy unless he wants to risk extradition. The rape charge will expire in 2020. We will take a break. After the break, a discussion about biotechnology, journalism, and much more.